I've been talking about how bullish HBAR is over the last couple of days, and let's just be honest here, I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks and months because, again, Hedera is one of those top projects that you do not want to miss this cycle. I do think that a lot of people are making some pretty big mistakes not focusing on what Hedera and the team behind HBAR are really focused on right now, which is institutional engagement around tokenization, around DeFi, around payments. I mean, guys, HBAR is just in a completely different game right now than all of these other players. Because again, we've been talking about utility-based projects for quite some time now on this channel. XRP, HBAR, XLM, Algo, QNC, you name it. And the thing about Hedera, and I would argue something that really stands out with Hedera, is just the tech stack. That ABFT security mechanism is so crucial, on top of the scalability, the fees. I mean, guys, Hedera literally has everything all locked in to make sure that they can engage with the largest, the biggest enterprise players out there. I mean, guys, they already are. And in this video, I want to go over everything. So let's first start off with just the price chart. Last 7 days up about almost 11%. Last month, we're still down, right? 3.5%, but we're starting to move up. We're starting to really kind of clear out that path to breaking out. This is what the daily chart looks like. Again, we are breaking out on the daily. We need a little bit more confirmation here. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves because, again, if we zoom in here real quick, just to kind of show you guys, right? Here we have a fake out, here we have a fake out right here. We also have another fake out. My mouse is glitching out. I do apologize. We also have another little fake out here. And then also the last major one was back here in July. Now, these are all the times that we wicked above that upper trend line, but failed to break over it. Now, we are breaking out over it right now. By the time that this video goes live, we'll have a little bit more confirmation of this. But currently speaking, we still need to be a little bit more patient. Now, the best part about this is the RSI. Right? And I circled the RSI, and I do have an arrow pointing to the September 7th candle because this is where RSI started to break over the moving average. This is a major break because this is the first time that we're breaking over this moving average since going all the way back here in June. Now, this was that move that took us from like 12.5 cents all the way back to almost 30.5 cents. The difference here is that we're going from roughly like 21.5 cents or just 21 cents itself, right? I know that some of these closes were like around 21.5 cents, like around like September 6th and September 7th, but we'll just go off with like 21 cents, right? And if we're going to continue to break out here and we do get that confirmation, I do think that we target those highs recently, which is like around 30.5 cents. But then we target the 2025 highs around 40 cents, and then we go to all-time highs. It all really starts with a big signal on the chart, and we already have that. Now, it's not just a chart that's telling us to be very bullish here. Let's go over here to the most recent announcement. This is a big one. This happened earlier yesterday. Today, Archax Exchange launches pool tokens on Hedera, marking a major milestone in the tokenization of financial markets. This unlocks on-chain multi-asset portfolios, enabling institutional investors with new ways to build, transfer, and manage diversified baskets of assets. The first pool token represents a digital fund of funds, which holds equal parts of money market funds from Aberdeen, BlackRock, State Street, Legal & General. Why does this matter? Unlike legacy funds bound by share classes, prospectuses, and custodians, pool tokens enable instant fund creation, instant transfers and composability, reduced intermediary friction, institutional grade compliance, and this is just the start. Beyond money market funds, pool tokens can represent funds of funds, ETPs and indices, commodity baskets, and structured products. This composability allows for financial engineering previously impossible in traditional markets. This is a huge update, and this kind of builds off of what we recently found back in like the middle of summer. Do you guys remember this post going back to July 20th? This was from HBAR Tata, right? And we have here some very interesting tokens were just created on Hedera mainnet, and they look like tokenized money market funds from Archax. Names include BlackRock, Fidelity, State Street, Aberdeen, LGIM. Institutional RWA tokenization on Hedera could soon ramp up. Now, here we have all of the money market funds. Let me zoom in just so that you guys can see here, right? We have the Aberdeen Liquidity Fund. We have the State Street GBP Government Liquidity Fund, Aberdeen Liquidity Fund, Fidelity. There's two of them here. State Street, BlackRock, LGIM, ILF, Fidelity again, State Street, BlackRock, LGIM, ILF, Euro, LGIM, Euro, State Street, Euro, ILF, USD Liquidity Fund as well. Now, again, we did get confirmation back here from the CEO and co-founder of Archax, Graham Rodford. HBAR Tata is right. We've created the contracts for all funds we have available on Archax Exchange. Hopefully, we will see those with balances on RWA.xyz soon. The use case for HBAR is transactions involving these instruments, i.e. buy, sell, transfer as collateral. Now, that's exactly what this announcement officially is. And we have here from Archax. Archax launches pool token functionality on Hedera, enabling on-chain multi-asset portfolios. First up, a tokenized basket of Aberdeen, BlackRock, State Street, and legal and general funds. The range of underlying assets can be wholly diverse too, from equity, debt, funds, and cryptocurrencies, all in a single transferable token. This unlocks unprecedented flexibility in portfolio building and fund creation on-chain. This is extremely exciting. This is a very, very good time to be locked in on Hedera because of this announcement, right? This is exactly what we have been talking about for so long when it comes to HBAR. They are on a completely different level. These announcements are getting bigger. They are happening more consistent. I keep trying to, I try to say this all the time when it comes to Hedera. I know that I can sound biased. I understand that it kind of sounds repetitive hearing me talk about how bullish HBAR is, but guys, these fundamental announcements speak for themselves. This is a huge, huge move for Hedera. Now let's go over here real quick and just kind of look through this announcement, kind of pick out some of the pieces that are very significant to, really just know about. So number one, pool tokens allow a rethinking of traditional mutual funds, baskets, and ETFs towards a more efficient composable model of investment management. Whilst the current collectives have certain advantages, these new instruments offer investors a way to hold both baskets and the underlying, simultaneously increasing the utility of such instruments. They enable real-time portfolio assembly with instant settlement and reduce intermediary friction by digitally representing investors' holdings in the constituent assets. And of course, we do have the quote from Graham Rodford that we did read over on X, but then we also have a little bit more of an elaboration on this. So by enabling the creation of pool tokens, an issuer could come to us and create a natively on-chain portfolio basket, index, or fund. Tokenized portfolios can be assembled, transferred, and managed with speed and flexibility. So we're eliminating the operational inefficiencies that have long plagued traditional investment structures. So again, if we're thinking about what's happening here, this is completely changing the game. Like, we are witnessing the evolution of almost every single financial asset class out there. Here are the benefits of the new pool token, by the way. So instant fund creation, instant transfers and composability, pool tokens as collateral, and then structured products as well. And again, we do have a recent use case. This was with Lloyd's Banking Group. If you guys do remember this, this was also another big announcement, which we'll go to right now. One second, I got to find it. I do have it open over here. One second. So it was this announcement here. So we have today, Lloyd's Banking Group with Aberdeen and Archax announced a landmark collaboration of their trading businesses to advance the use of cutting-edge blockchain technology using tokenized RWAs on Hedera as collateral. And if you guys do remember this, right, because we talked about it significantly, because this was all based around the FX trades. If we go into the value here, because again, all of this is based around Archax, which is a UK FCA regulated digital asset exchange on the Hedera network. The UK trades $5.4 trillion in FX and interest rate derivatives daily, accounting for half of global activity. So when we think about this, what they're doing here with Aberdeen and Archax is immediately tapping into that $5.4 trillion market. Yeah, we won't see that $5.4 trillion moving over Hedera immediately, but, over time we could start to see, small percentages, maybe even 0.5%. Then we get to that 1%, and all of a sudden you could start to see the big picture, right? This is why I've always said that this tokenized future that we keep talking about, the values tied to this tokenized future, it's so significant. Even if just 1% of what we're hearing about with tokenization hits this market, we will be extremely rich. Here we have from Hedera Foundation. The team at Archax Exchange sees tokenization as a $1.7 quadrillion opportunity. Not trillion, quadrillion. This is why I said even just 1% of this market is enough to make us extremely rich. This is a crazy amount of money. And of course, yes, we do have Greg Bell from the HBAR Foundation here. This is also from Gfinity. So check this out, guys.
What other products do you see Archax kind of being interested in or getting involved with in the future?
In our analysis of global financial markets, we think the opportunity is $1.7 quadrillion. So it's $1,700 trillion. If you add up everything, it's a massive opportunity. And all of that can be tokenized, and all of it will be tokenized because it's a more efficient way to handle financial instruments. It's a more efficient way to run financial markets. It just makes so much sense for a myriad of reasons. So it's coming.
And of course, you saw Greg's facial expression change completely from a very serious look to him being extremely happy because he knows as well that this value moving on chain, it will significantly impact these underlying networks. I don't think people realize how big this is. And Archax already built out this entire tokenization engine. This has always been their goal. Here we have the full ecosystem around Archax. You have tokenization with multi-chain support. This could be Hedera, it could be the XRP ledger, it could be XDC. It doesn't matter, right? But we do have that at the top. Then you have primary market, digital and traditional, secondary markets, exchange and OTC, custody, digital, traditional, and fiat, ESG ratings and offset, Montes CSD and e-money, and then staking and lending as well. Because this is going to be a completely new financial system essentially on chain. You have crypto, you have digital and traditional securities, you have NFTs, you have tokenized funds, crypto ETPs, all locked in, even with e-money and stablecoins, and then derivatives, all tied back to those investment banks, those asset managers, those hedge funds, market makers, liquidity providers, family offices, sophisticated investors. This is where you see, brokers, retail, everyone being tapped into a tokenized digital economy. And yes, Hedera is 100% a piece of this future. Here we have the massive market opportunity as well. $1.7 quadrillion. Guys, the total addressable market here is absolutely wild compared to where we are at right now with crypto. This is also why I've said many times over that, we are witnessing a massive shift here. We are witnessing a major significant growth rate around the adoption, but also the tokenization of assets on chain, and also even the moves, the announcements that we're seeing. Guys, Hedera has been working with Archax since going all the way back in 2022. But now the announcements, we have witnessed more announcements around Hedera, around tokenization in 2025. In just the last 9 months, we have witnessed more announcements than in the last roughly 4 years. The space is evolving. The space is changing. Projects like Hedera are now witnessing increased adoption. This is at a time where the price chart is still well under all-time highs going back to 2021. I do believe that we are about to witness the HBAR chart go absolutely insane. And it's not because I believe that, the chart's going to go insane because I think it will. No, it's because of everything that we are now witnessing around crypto. These announcements are extremely large when we think about the total addressable market for tokenized assets. And also, these funds are not small named funds. We have BlackRock here, we have Fidelity, we have State Street. Guys, these are huge giants in TradFi. And yes, they're now getting moved on chain. This is a very exciting time to be locked in and watching HBAR closely. And I do feel bad for anyone that is not paying attention at this point, because they're going to miss out on so much money. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord on the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.